This is the Jim Liebo Show, where we're diving into the truth about CBD oil, its many uses, benefits, and life-changing capabilities. Here's your host, Jim Liebo.
Well, it's a new day out there today in the wonderful land that we call Clean Leaf Pharmaceutical. And what I wanted to get across today onto the show, and we'll have some people on the show as well today, is fibromyalgia. And really, this is an uncurable disease that's out there in the industry. And there's 10 million people in this country that have fibromyalgia. And 3 to 6% of the world has fibromyalgia as well. And it's, as I said, it's an uncurable disease, and it's predominant amongst women. Women in their early 20s is about the time frame where they'll pick this particular problem up. It went through a lot of years where doctors really felt that people were just asking, for pain pills or different things. They had no idea really what fibromyalgia was at the time because there's nothing that can cure it. The biggest thing that we see today that's out there for fibromyalgia is Lyrica. And the side effects on Lyrica, it's absolutely unbelievable, the causes that they can get by taking Lyrica. Now, some of them will use Lyrica less and use our product with it, which we found, tremendous results on that side. But more and more people are backing down off of Lyrica to be able to utilize our product instead because it has absolutely no side effects. Now, as I mentioned yesterday, you can take as much of, our capsules with the CBD oil in it, or the hemp that we use in it, and the more that you take, just the better you're going to feel. So you can't overdose on it. You can't take too many pills if you're in a lot of pain one day, because with fibromyalgia, you can wake up, and what it is from the muscular side of the body is it goes into the joints, and it can happen one day. You can have a major headache. The next day you can have pain down into your legs to where you can't even walk. The next day you might be able to not move your arm. So what it does is it takes the patient. And what happens is they're going into the doctor and they're asking for pills, and the pills that they're getting, it's actually putting them more to sleep than it is of giving them any type of quality of life. And that doesn't work out good, because we talked about it yesterday about the incidents and the problems that people have within their life. It also affects everybody that's in the family. Remember, I talked to you about the story yesterday about the woman that had been in bed for 2 years. And she hadn't been out once, not once with their friends for dinner, not once out of the bed for anything, because she's so heavily medicated by all the pills that the doctors are giving that she can't get out of bed. She'd rather sleep than to enjoy life. And this is what's happening with fibromyalgia. And the doctors are just giving them, as many pills as they can give them, and they're on extremely high doses of pills that they don't need to be. They need to be taking a look at an alternative like we offer with our pill that can help cut down drastically the amount of pills. As I mentioned to you yesterday, I was in the upwards over 10 to 14 pills a day that they were giving me with a fentanyl patch. And I got myself off of that because I knew that the side effects and the things that were happening and getting issues with my liver and stuff, that you can't go down this road. And the people with fibromyalgia, they need to have this alternative. They need to get these CBD receptors filled so that they can understand the difference between where their pain level's at truly versus what the doctor says that the pain level's at. And when you go out there and you read, a lot about, what CBD can do, there's over 85 chemical compounds, and cannabinoids out there. And this is where the difference really, when people are trying to understand, there's, when you look at the scale, there's hemp, then it goes up to CBD, then it goes up one level higher into the CBD spot, which would be more of like your Rick Simpson type oil. And And when you look at the compound areas, that's where you get into the Delta 9s and the Delta 8s of the THC. Most people think when they walk into a medical dispensary that just buying, some cannabis, marijuana, that's going to solve the problem for them. It's going to solve the problem for them for that night. They're going to go to bed and they're going to fall asleep. But it's not actively going after what needs to be done. And that's the difference in our company here of what we're looking to do. Okay? It's very easy to just sell product out there. It's about getting that customer to come back and to doing something good for the customer. We're talking about the person's life. We're talking about the pain that's within their body. We're talking about every angle in their life that we're going to take a look at for them to help them to get better and get them off of the opiate pills that they're currently working with and move them into a better product, a safer product that's not going to give them the side effects, and it's going to give them the ability to get back into life again and start enjoying the life that they had in the past. But it's very difficult. I mean, this pain it's extreme. It doesn't ever go away. And it's very tough for the fibromyalgia patient out there. It's no different than someone with MS. Okay, obviously the two elements that they have with the body are two totally different types of issues. But again, you're talking about, the CBD or the hemp product is going to help for either one of those particular problems out there. So on the fibromyalgia side, as I mentioned, with the 10 million people that are here in the U.S., there has to be a different way. So when you look at it on a long-term scale on how I see our company going, right now we're in the position where we're getting the product into people's body. We're going to start encompassing doctors in there with nurses that are going to be able to evaluate where the patient's at, where is the pain level at, what product do they actually need to be taking to make sure, because at Clean Leaf Pharmaceutical, okay, what we do is we take a look at each patient individually, and what we want to do is we want to try to solve where that pain's at, because it doesn't matter if you're taking a tincture or you're taking a pill, or it might be the lotion, whatever it might be, you're taking a look at that product affects the body differently with each individual person. So it's not like you can just walk up and it's a one-size-fits-all. It doesn't work that way when it comes to medicine. Everybody's body is a little bit different than that person that you're passing. But when you're talking about 10 million people out there suffering and not getting the actual medicine that they need that's going to help them, it's really a sad situation in the country out there. So what we've done is we've been able to put together, we've got 6 solid products right now that will help them to cut down that pain and to give them that life back again, because it's going to help incorporate with what they're currently doing right now. It's going to help cut down on some of the current products that they have out there. But we're at the position now where we're going to help them to cut that down even more and give them the right products that they need to be able to go ahead and enjoy that life, to go out for the daily events, to go to dinner, to start cleaning the house, to get involved with the kids, to do the things that they've done in the past, is really where it's going to make a difference for them in their life. And go out to Clean Leaf Pharmaceutical. It's cleanleafpharma.com. It's PHARMA.com. So when you go out to cleanleafpharma.com, you'll be able to look at the different products. And once you've gotten onto our product, you're going to notice that difference on how your body's going to feel. I guarantee it 100%. If you don't notice the difference in our product, we'll go ahead and refund that money right back to you. So my suggestion would be is head out to cleanleafpharma.com. You can also go out to medicineman.global. Make sure it's medicineman.global. That's our other company. And we can get you fixed up with everything that you need as far as that side. So I think you'll find a drastic difference in your life if you go ahead and you give it a try. Call us up, get on the website, order yourself some of the product in, and let us know. Give us the feedback on it. So I appreciate it. And we'll look forward to seeing you on our website, and we'll look forward to speaking to you soon about how we can help you the best with your product.
The Jim Liebo Show will be right back.
Well, I'd like to thank everybody for listening out there today. We've got a wonderful, wonderful guest. Ryan Switis is my partner, and Ryan is absolutely probably one of the smartest people that I've seen out there in the industry, and you guys will get a chance to really see this as we go through and we talk about some things. But I couldn't be any more pleased than to have him on the show today. Ryan, how are you doing?
I'm amazing. Currently, I'm in Costa Rica, just enjoying tranquility.
So let's talk, a little bit. I talked earlier on the segments about fibromyalgia, that it's a disease that, they've been able to label, but they're not able to cure yet. And, they use a lot of different products that are out there. They're putting a lot of opiates to people out there, and they're getting addicted. And basically, most of these people are sleeping in bed because they can't take the pain. With our company, we have a lot of different options and things that we can do for people out there. And I want you to talk a little bit about what we're able to do and go from there. So I'll open the floor up to you a little bit, and let's talk about it.
Let's read what the current definition for fibromyalgia is. It's a chronic disorder characterized by a widespread of pain, fatigue, tenderness, in localized areas. It sounds like whoever wrote that definition has no idea about the human body, because that could be a million things, Currently, when you have a deficiency in the body, it means you're lacking something the body needs. So there was a guy by the name of Dr. Russo who coined the term endocannabinoid deficiency. The endocannabinoid system in the human body does so many things. It works in partnerships with the immune system. And when it becomes deficient with certain things like CBD, it starts crying out to you saying, hey, give me what I need. And that's the pain that you're experiencing. And if you don't supplement the body with what it needs, it's only going to get worse. So the cannabis plant has over 85 cannabinoids that they know about, and I'm sure there's a list of many more that they're going to discover over the next couple of years.
Exactly.
But that means, yeah. So when the body's endocannabinoid system is deficient, you experience pain. So what do? You supplement it with what it needs with clean leaf CBDs. There's many other components, though, to the human body. THC is very beneficial as well, especially when you're dealing with severe pain.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that, when we talk about it is, yes, THC, works as well, but there's certain parts of the THCs that are better than others.
Absolutely. Well, that's full spectrum. The marijuana plant or the cannabis plant is so beneficial, and we only scratch the surface of the benefits of taking it. The CBD oil is so beneficial because it replaces the endocannabinoid system with what it needs, which alleviates pain. It helps the person anxiety. They start feeling so much better. It helps as well as the body's internal chemistry because they believe that it's going to work. So that also helps in the healing process of the human body because the mind plays a big part as well.
Yeah, and that's what they're getting currently from the pills that they're receiving, from their doctors. It's taking that and it's shooting it to the brain, and it's telling the brain that, you don't need to feel this way. We're gonna deaden down some of the pain in that area for a while, and then of course, they end up putting themselves to sleep for a while, and then they wake up and they're in more pain, and then they take their pill and they go on to the same thing as a daily. I guess you could say chore or something. That's what their day is, and they don't have anything else into theirs because the regular doctor out there has to follow a guideline, which is sad. It doesn't give them the ability to look at other options that are out there, like our company can do for them.
No, and I fully agree with you. The challenge is the doctor isn't educated in nutrition; they're educated in pharma, and you're not going to heal the body through a pill unless if it's a natural pill like a CBD oil or something else, and it's not a synthesized pill. It's a natural component. When they come up with a pill, it's because they took something from a plant, and they only took one or two components of the plant. They didn't take the full spectrum, and then they put that into a pill that actually harms your body. I mean, your kidneys, your liver. It takes so much energy of the person just to get rid of that pill out of their body. So they're not healing anything. And that's what's so great about a natural component like a CBD oil for the human body, because that's how it's found in the plant. And when you put that in your body doesn't have to use any energy to get rid of it. It just assimilates it, which brings balance to the body.
Yeah, and that's why they don't notice the difference like they would notice if they take a hydro or whatever it might be. And even in the hydros, there's two different types of hydros. One has the Tylenol side, which is horrible for your body, and and so they're not educating the consumer out there as far as the products that they're putting into their body. I mean, yeah, they walk up to the doctor and they get their prescription, then they go to the pharmacy, and the pharmacy says, can I answer any questions for you? But they're basically, no, they've been taking the pill for years, and they just move on. But they have no idea what the damage is being done and that they need to get a life changed.
Well, that's what's so exciting about the cannabis industry. It really works. There's so much stuff that's undiscovered, and there's so many people, in other countries even. I know Europe, Israel, Russia, they've done so much research around the cannabis plant, and none of that information has gotten to the United States yet. They actually say that cannabis cures cancer. I don't believe you can say that in the United States, or a doctor can even use that kind of language. They'd be sued. But the west of the world is figuring out how beneficial this ancient medicine really is. Talk about the human body. It takes over 200,000 years for our bodies to even have a receptor for something. So that means the cannabis plant itself has been in our culture for hundreds of thousands of years for our body to develop a receptor for it. I mean, which is interesting to think.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's sad because most people don't even understand that at all.
No. Well, that's why the foundation is the education. This information isn't published. It's not on the television too often.
Yeah, and it's on there on a split, type of situation, and that's the reason why the more that we're getting to the doctors now and presenting, what we can do for the body for them, we're going to start to see a drastic change out there, but it's patient by patient by patient, and we're heading down the right path. We have a very, very strong, plan of how we're going to do it. And it's going to be extremely exciting for the consumer out there. I mean, they are going to absolutely love it. If they only knew what we've got hidden in the little chest there, Ryan, they'd be surprised.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And again, it's all about education, and we're going to do our best to educate the planet into the benefits of medicinal cannabis and other plants that are also medicine, because all medicine comes from food, right? Food is medicine.
Yeah. Well, we're coming down here. We got about a minute left, Ryan. So, I want to thank you, for coming on to the show and giving us the opportunity to talk a little bit about fibromyalgia and where we're going from there. But you enjoy Costa Rica out there. I wish I was out there with you. Well, have a wonderful day. I really appreciate you coming on, and I look forward to having you on more because we have a lot more things that we need to go over and talk about to let the public know.
Fantastic. Have a blessed day, Jim. I'll talk to you soon.
You too, my friend Ryan. Thank you very much.
The Jim Liebo Show will return shortly. And we're back. Here's your host, Jim Liebo.
Well, thank you. We're back to the Jim Liebo Show, and I can't tell you how excited I am. When I paused off before on that first segment, I kept it a little bit quiet because I had a really, really special segment for you guys. And what I'm going to do is bring on Donna Randolph. She's a customer of ours that uses our product. She has fibromyalgia, and I wanted to make sure that we had her set for the segment and everything. But I told you I can't be more happy than to have somebody come on that's using our product and that is that loves it and is doing well from it. And Donna, are you on the show with us?
I'm here.
Well, great to have you, Donna. I really appreciate you taking a few minutes of your time. I know that you're getting ready to move soon and some other things, and to take a few minutes to come on to share with the other people that are out there across the country about what fibromyalgia is, what it actually does to the person. Because we all have our different, ailments that are bothering us. But from the fibromyalgia side, as I mentioned to everybody before, there's 10 million people out there that have it. And so what I'd like for you to do is explain to the audience, what is fibromyalgia?
Fibromyalgia is autoimmune. It's hard to describe because There's so it's so varied in its symptoms, and just to give you a range, it feels like you have the flu some days. It feels like last night, for instance, I could literally feel pain in my sleep. My legs feel like logs when I walk sometimes. I can't stand to be touched sometimes. I can't even stand to have clothes on sometimes. The fatigue is really bad, especially right now when I'm trying to pack. I'm trying to think of, there's so many symptoms. I can't, dry eyes, you forget things. It's just, it goes on, and it doesn't really have, fibromyalgia is not easy to describe because it on any given day, it can present in another way.
Okay, and when did you first start when did the symptoms start?
I contracted it and was diagnosed after a car wreck 20 years ago.
Okay.
And a neurologist did a spinal tap on me, and it has gotten progressively worse.
And what do you think is making it progressively worse?
I think the nature of fibromyalgia, if you don't do anything or if you don't do research to find out what you can do to prevent the symptoms, it's hard to say what you can do. Like I said, on any given day, any symptom can present itself. And I've had a real hard time sleeping this week because of the pressure of moving and emotional stress. So it presents itself in a myriad of ways.
So when you found Clean Leaf Pharmaceuticals, what did our product do for you?
Oh gosh, the first time I used it, I was just delirious with happiness because I thought, this is what it means to feel good again. I can take the capsules and I'm good.
And is it relieving the pain?
I mean, I'm good.
Is it relieving the pain completely for that certain time?
Oh,
point?
yes. Yeah.
Okay. So
definitely.
So it's been a tremendous lifestyle change for you.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Wonderful. How did you hear about our company initially?
Well, the doctor I had been seeing, the way the DEA is right now, I wasn't finding a way to do anything about it. So I started doing my own research, and at a visit to his office one day, I don't know what made me say it, but I said, what do you think of CBD oil? And he said, just so happens I have a gentleman's name and a phone number to give you, and I called you immediately.
Wonderful. And Jim,
I did not know. I had forgotten how wonderful it felt to feel good again.
Well, that makes me feel absolutely wonderful to hear that, because as you know, we're a company that the customer and the patient, you know how well we take care of our customers out there.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
You know, have you seen any other
You
company
are-
like us?
You have been a blessing in my life.
Well, I appreciate to hear that. We thank you very much for that. So the pain flares up a lot more when you're having to pack or do any type of physical activity.
Oh yeah, and the stress of just moving. Period.
Right.
Yeah, it's all taken a toll. But when I take 2 capsules, I just the pain goes away.
Yeah. And did the tincture, help in between on
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Because I know that you've used both of those products before. So do you use
Yes.
them in conjunction together, or do you have some time in between the time that you use the pills?
It
Yeah.
depends on how bad the symptom is and how bad the pain is.
Mm-hmm. And you can notice the difference within the body when you take it, if it's a tincture or if it's a pill, right?
Oh gosh, yes.
Mm-hmm. And that's one of the most important things that we're going to start teaching, the patients that are out there, is that there is a difference between what they're taking. There isn't a one-stop shop for whatever you need, so.
Yeah.
So.
And the vape helped as well.
Okay, so you've had the opportunity to use 3 of the different products.
Yes.
That's absolutely wonderful. And I know that you went ahead and you spread out across the Facebook for us and telling everybody how well the product did for you, and I couldn't be more happier.
Well, I don't like to see people suffer, and this disease is hideous.
Yeah.
It's just, and I just don't want to see or hear of anybody dealing with it.
Yeah, we're running short on time. We got about 10 seconds left. But I do want to
Okay.
thank you very much for coming on, because I know that you're a special, in our company. And
Join us next time for
I'd like
another
to thank you
episode
for
of the
coming
Jim
on.
Liebo Show.
You're
Jim
special
Liebo is
as
the
well.
president
Thank
of
you,
Clean
Doc.
Leaf Pharmaceuticals. Shop the online store for CBD capsules, e-juice, lotion, and more at cleanleafpharma.com. cleanleafpharma.com.